It'd be interesting to see. There's currently we kind of break this down by conference. Look at the Big 12 with BYU and Texas Tech, and Cincinnati theoretically with the opportunity to play Texas Tech. But I think the three you would focus on, could all three get in? Who knows? BYU, Texas Tech, and Utah sitting down there. Look at who Utah still has to play. Very strong chance that the Utes have a chance to finish up, winning them all. They have Baylor, Kansas State, and Kansas. So you could have a Utah team standing there at 10-2. When you keep winning games, you're not going to go backwards in the rankings. And if they don't make it to Arlington, they might have a chance to make a case as an at-large. I like breaking the CFP rankings down like this.
Yes.
The SEC, look at all the way down. That line, obviously, kind of the equator of like who is in currently, who's still knocking on the door. See the Big Ten with their three. We've talked on and on about who that fourth team could be.
Yep.
This is after last week's rankings. So Washington and Iowa no longer will be there when we do these rankings moving forward.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Iowa, having lost a close game to Oregon the way they did in that weather. It'll be interesting to see if Iowa is still ranked, sitting at 21 right now.
I don't think they can be. I don't know. If they are, it'd be hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You lose to Oregon, which was number 9, last second field goal.
Yeah.
It's one of those things when you
I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
When you get to the back end, it's like, who would you say is better?
Right.
And I think with the committee using a lot of eye test, like they did in the first week, I would not be surprised to see Iowa still ranked on the back end of the top 25. If they're not, I understand that also. But losing to Oregon on a last second field goal when Oregon's number 9, I wouldn't be surprised if Iowa's still hanging on.
And we talked about Iowa last week. I mean, a 3-point loss against a rival on the road at Ames, Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
Played Indiana as well as anybody. Lost by 5 at home. And then, by the way, I thought it'd be that I picked 16-15 Iowa. I thought it'd be one of those typical November, dark, it's gray, it's cold, it's raining, it's snowing. Iowa's up 16-15. They win the game, and it almost played out exactly that way until Oregon gets the late opportunity to win the game. So I'm with you. I see what you're saying. It's just sitting there at 6-3, even though all 3 of their losses could have gone the other way. And coming off a loss like that, it's if they kept them ranked. By the way, they had them ranked when the AP and the coaches poll didn't. So
absolutely right.
The committee definitely.
You would think Washington's out
of
the top 25.
Yep.
And so I would not be surprised tomorrow night.
And I think if you're looking for who could potentially, if you go back to that last graphic that we had up there about the conferences in the Big Ten, it's really, if you're looking for that fourth team. And by the way, let's not just assume Oregon's going to keep winning out. I mean, Oregon is on a slippery slope. Yeah. They are not the dominant team that we just thought, just you throw those jerseys out, they just blow everybody out by 40. It's not that way this year for them, as we've seen. But if we look at those 3, Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon, the next 2 are USC and Michigan. Michigan has probably the best opportunity because they still have Ohio State to play. Mm-hmm. And if they got to 9-2, they would be playing Ohio State. I think we would all agree, with an opportunity at 9-2 if they beat Ohio State at home to get to 10-2, they're in. I don't know who's out, but Michigan be possible to not.
Somebody got to go. But you also look at USC has a shot, and they play Oregon. Yeah. So and we talked about this before. The back end of the season in the Big Ten, when we talk about who can be the fourth team, if there is a fourth team, there's going to be teams with an opportunity to make that argument. Iowa just had their opportunity, came up a little short. USC is going to play Oregon. Ohio State has to go play Michigan. So both those teams have a chance to at least get into the conversation. Now, tricky things happen here with who wins your conference championship game also. Let's just say Cincinnati gets into the Big 12 championship game. Say they beat BYU, they get in. Now all of a sudden they beat Texas Tech. If that's who they play, it changes things. The
Oh yeah,
ACC is the same way. The
I mean
ACC
ACC.
5 teams with 1 loss.
How about the ACC? How they started off with Florida State beating Alabama. They had a great opening weekend, and since then it's been tough. I mean, the last 2 weeks, the teams at the top end up going down. Georgia Tech, Miami, and then last week, Louisville goes down. Virginia goes down. They're going to be lucky. They should just be happy. Whoever wins the game and Charlotte is the ACC champ. Just be appreciative that they get a team. Just take your one team, move on. That one team will advance, and let's hope it's Georgia Tech and Miami. That by the way, Pitt's kind of out there as an outlier. Pitt, they really are. I mean,
hey, listen, if you think Pitt can run the rest of their schedule, absolutely right.
This new quarterback's balling, and they get Notre Dame at home. They get
Very
Georgia
talented.
Tech. I think they have Georgia Tech on the road, and then they end with Miami.
Yeah.
And if they win those three, they're going to Charlotte, playing for the right to get into the CFP. And you know what? I wouldn't mind that personally if they were to win these last three, because you're talking about a team of momentum.
Yes.
That would be Pitt. So they've been a different team with this quarterback. I mean, he's been fun to watch, and I think it's galvanized the entire team, not just the offense. But that's the ACC. What about the SEC? A&M, Alabama, Georgia. We've been talking about this all year.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the four. And now Texas gets a chance because they're going into Athens, seems to be playing off of a bye week, getting healthier, maybe playing some of their best football, at least offensively. Oklahoma, John Mateer getting healthy and healthier. That second half against Tennessee, also a bye week. They go into Tuscaloosa. You got Vandy that's still out there. So this weekend is kind of judgment day. As far as this conference is concerned, we're going to have a lot more clarity when it comes to what direction they're going and who ends up surviving. Pat's calling me here. He knows we're on the air. Let's see what he wants real quick. What are you up to?
I'm cooking right now,
Bro, we're on the air, Joey and I.
Hey,
And you...
do you want to come on and victory lap it right now about this Oregon and Iowa thing today, or send a video?
Yeah. I'll text me. I'll hop on for sure. Here's Joey.
What are we doing here? What's going on, big fella?
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, Joey, nonstop. Let a naysayer know, Joey.
Patrick, what's up, man?
Oh, we love you. Hey, we're
still doing this.
We are just trying to lead into you, bring some viewers to you. Not that you need them, but the few that we have, we're just trying to happily drop them off at your doorstep at noon.
We are very grateful for that. You guys just stealing everybody's rights too, which I fucking love.
Oh yeah,
life, baby, outlaw life. We used to live like that.
All right. Text me.
The show is awesome.
Text me when you need me. All right, babe. All right.
Hey, the boys want to say.
Let's get Pat on the show one of these days.
Oh, we have. Hey, I got to come on there with Ty to talk about Iowa.
Yeah, you ruined it. Okay.
All right. See ya. All right. Sorry about that. He's fired up about his boy Ty Schmidt's Iowa Hawkeye. And when I picked 16-15, everyone thought I ruined picking Iowa because it went from being sneaky to not being sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
But Iowa played well enough to win that game. They win that game. So how did we end up with the SEC? With Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia? They going to get 4? They going to get 5?
Definitely getting 4. I agree with you this weekend. The Texas Longhorns, who it felt really bad for a long time. It just felt like, they're out of it.
Yep.
That's not just to get them out the way. They played their best game of the season against Vandy 2 weeks ago, and you're right, they're going to a bye week, and now they go to Georgia. Finally, we saw Georgia play 4 quarters.
Complete game. They look great.
Yeah, finally Georgia gave us 4 quarters. That'll be a game to watch. That one will be interesting to see what happens with that. Texas has a chance to shake things up. Oklahoma has a chance to shake things up as they play Alabama. So you're right. This weekend, this Saturday is going to be a lot of fun because of the shakeup and all this. And it just might just stay status quo. If Alabama wins their game, then obviously they look like they're on a crash course with Texas A&M. Although Texas also plays Texas A&M. So Texas will have a lot to say about what
Who,
happened.
who
in
do
the
you
SEC.
think has a better chance on the road? Oklahoma going to Tuscaloosa, Texas going to Athens. By the way, when those two teams left the Big 12 and everybody said, okay, now you're going to find out what it's like in the big boy pool. This is the kind of weekend that teams like Texas, they're fans of Texas and fans of Oklahoma. This is a proving opportunity. And I think they've done it already in these couple of years they've been in the SEC. But it's fun to see both these teams are going in traditional powers of the SEC. Yeah. Who do you think has a better chance to compete and pull off an upset? Or maybe you think both of them do?
I'm going to say Texas, simply because they played their best game against Vandy, and then they went into a bye week to get healthy. And so I think because we've seen Georgia not play 4 quarters, if Texas can get off to a fast start, if they can run the football and once again just take the pressure off of their quarterback, I don't think that the playmaking ability that Texas showed against Vandy, where a bunch of missed tackles, a bunch of long, big plays that started as swing passes and then turned into huge plays down the field, I don't think that happens against Georgia. But if they can run the football, then they have a shot at putting Georgia in a position where, okay, you better come to play in the second half. Georgia's done it, but I think Texas is talented enough to do that. Oklahoma, I'm not saying they can't beat Alabama.
The second half Oklahoma team that played against Tennessee.
Yes.
And by the way, I haven't heard if R. Mason Thomas is healthy in that bye week. He's such an integral part of their pass rush and their defense. But that second half team against Tennessee, Matier was decisive. He's back there making plays. He's scrambling. He's running. It just felt like they looked like the first 4 weeks, Oklahoma. At any point since the injury, that was the one time I thought, okay, boy, if they can bottle this up and go to Tuscaloosa, they could be competitive. But
yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think coming off of that game, the Oklahoma, Tennessee, and the Texas Vandy,
yeah,
I felt better about Texas.
Yeah,
Texas, the Tennessee Oklahoma game sort of felt like Tennessee had them and sort of let it go in the second half. I mean, they didn't put their foot on them in the first half when they really had their opportunities. Then Oklahoma found a way to win. Texas dominated Vandy. 4 quarters. I know Vandy made the comeback.
And he came back there. Yeah,
they made the comeback. You need an onside kick to get the ball back to go down and have to score. Yeah.
But I mean, even before that, the game was out of reach. It looked like Texas was finally going to have a definitive moment and a statement.
That felt definitive to me. I felt good about Texas. And probably because I saw what I expected to see from Texas all along. Playmakers making big plays for their quarterback. Defensive line dominating the football game. I feel like that's what I expected to see out of Texas and just hadn't seen it.
Right.